Hi, I'm Drew Schulman, and I'm an 8th grade member of Student Council. I'm here with fellow Student Council members Catherine Russo, Lena Fadul, and Riona O'Neill.
All month, we have been celebrating Women's History Month with our teachers and classmates. We thank everyone who has been watching our videos and all the teachers who have joined us to learn about great women in history.
And now we're to the semifinals in our Women's History Month March Madness tournament. To help us decide which women will make it to the finals, we have brought together a trio of great women, our counselors, Mrs. Malzinski, Mrs. White-Lacey, and Mrs. Hughes. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Here's the situation, counselors. We each have a great story to tell you about an awesome woman in history. We are going to try to convince you that our woman is at the top of the list. It will be up to you to decide which two of these four will be moving on to the championship round, the final four that our HMS classmates will decide. Are you ready? You won't have to listen for long because my lady is a lock. Let me tell you about Elizabeth Blackwell. In 1849, she became the first woman to ever receive her medical degree, even after being turned down by numerous schools and professors. She was turned down from hospitals, so she started her own medical degree college and helped teach many women, including those who were on the front line during the American Civil War. By opening her own college, she showed many other women that they can do whatever they set their mind to, and she gave them an opportunity to expand their knowledge and help others. Come on,
Okay,
counselors. She's a shoo-in, right?
Okay, Catherine, props to Elizabeth Blackwell. But did she travel the world on foot?
Okay, back off, Catherine. Props to Elizabeth Blackwell, but did she ever scare off Alexander the Great himself? No, she didn't. Only Amanirenas did. Amanirenas was the queen of the Kush Kingdom, which is in Nubia, which is now around South Egypt to central-ish Sudan, and she ruled during the mid-300s BC. She was nicknamed the Scar-eyed Queen because she lost her left eye in a battle with the Romans, but her strength and skill did not decrease virtually at all after that. Because of her intelligence, strength, and leadership skills and composure, she was able to win a 5-year battle against the Romans, even though she had a much, much smaller army and with much less advanced technology. And because she beat the Romans so fiercely, Alexander the Great never went anywhere south of the Sea Oasis in Egypt, and the Sea Oasis is in northern Egypt. And she also looted the Roman army, cut off the head of the statue of Emperor Augustus, and put it on the lower steps of one of the Nubian temples of the Kush kingdom as a sign of disrespect. Counselors, I don't think it's really necessary to go on after that.
Ladies, I have obviously saved the best for last. Tammy Duckworth, the only one of our foursome still alive. Tammy Duckworth is the current Illinois State Senator. After attending George Washington University, Senator Duckworth decided to serve in the Army Reserves. I was going to get the same rank, the same pay, and I wanted to face the same risks as male officers, she said. Unfortunately, in 2004, she suffered a traumatic accident and lost both of her legs. However, she did not let this ordeal bring her down and is still well known for her vibrant spirit and personality. Tammy Duckworth went on to become the first Congress member to be born in Thailand, the first Asian American woman to represent Illinois in Congress, and the first woman with a disability to be elected to Congress. Okay, counselors, you're always trying to get us to talk. Now it's your turn. Only two of these great women can move on to the championship. So who's it going to be?
I think real quick, I was going to jump in and read Riona's since her
her Wi-Fi isn't working out so well. So Gertrude Benham was an inspiring mountaineer, hiker, and explorer, climbing more than 300 peaks in her lifetime. Gertrude claims that she did so to satisfy a spirit of wanderlust and that has entered my soul. She was born in 1867, the youngest of 6 children, and began climbing mountains as a young girl, sparking her thrill for climbing and the love of outdoors. Benham took care of her parents until she was 36, but then her father died in 1891 and her mother in 1903. She decided to satisfy her urge to travel the world. She went on to climb mountains on almost every continent, traveling to places on foot such as Chile, Argentina, Kenya, and South Africa. Gertrude was known for being self-sufficient, financing her trips with a budget of about 250 British pounds a year, equivalent to about $350 US today. Benham once told the Daily News, "I am never lonely. How can I be when there is so much to see and admire in the world?" She passed away in 1938 for reasons unknown, but left behind an inspiring legacy to young women and explorers around the world.
Tough choices, guys.
So I think I'm biased because I definitely like people in history who open doors for other people to come. And I think all the women have kind of done that in different ways. But I think that, you know, Elizabeth Blackwell really stood out to me because, you know, she not only educated herself, but she created lanes and opportunities for women to be educated, and that will affect the generations of women after her. So that's why I think I'm leaning towards Elizabeth Blackwell, but I really did like the Amanirenas. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong.
It's fine. It's Amanirenas.
Amanirenas.
Mhm.
Okay, I think she was a, you know, awesome, powerful woman, which I think is inspiring in and of itself. But I do appreciate when people create opportunities for generations after them. So I especially like Elizabeth Blackwell.
And I was leaning towards Tammy Duckworth, only because I think she's done a lot, and you know, from the mom perspective of things, she was one of the first, you know, elected officials who actually was is a mom in office to a young child. So that was kind of cool, and also, you know, taking on that role of, you know, the idea of being able to do the same thing that men do. And, you know, we kind of showed her, and one of her quotes was really resonated with us as well, in our wellness. So I was sort of leaning towards her as soon as I heard about her. But it's a tough decision. What do you think, Miss Hughes?
I actually was also leaning towards Tammy Duckworth. I feel like I have a special place in my heart for people and students that have certain disabilities, and you know, finding ways for them to you know, work well with those abilities, and you know, enhancing the abilities that they do have. I think she's kind of come a really long way. She seems like she's a fighter, and she is also kind of paving way for other people. Mr. Langen did let us know that we do get to pick 2. I think if I were to do 2, I would do Tammy Duckworth and Elizabeth Blackwell. I like what Miss White Lacey said about Elizabeth Blackwell creating lanes and creating opportunities for other women to succeed and to keep kind of going through that glass ceiling. So I guess those would be my 2 picks.
I do have to say they would probably be my 2 as well, but the other 2 were awesome women and great accomplishments. I know Riona didn't get to share, but I was just, as Miss Hughes was reading, I mean, mountaineer, hiker, explorer. Like, how awesome for somebody to go and do all of that, you know, is pretty awesome. And, you know, still goes back to that women can do anything mentality. So, you know, as well as all those other points that Ms. White Lacey attributed to Lena's woman as well. So what are we leaning towards, guys? Those are our top two.
I think those are my top two too.
I think they're my top two, but in general, I would like to do what any of these women have done, and I would like for you know, the students in Haverford Middle School, the, you know, female students specifically, to be able to see that and see all the things that they have accomplished and use that to fuel the fire that they can do whatever they want to do. I think that's the most important thing. I think that's why we celebrate Women's History Month, just to show everyone that you could do whatever you want to do, and, you know, that you shouldn't let things like that get in your way.
Okay, so our winners, drum roll, Elizabeth Blackwell and Tammy Duckworth.
Sorry. So that means that Tammy Duckworth and Elizabeth Blackwell will be moving on to our final four. Will either of them prevail? We shall see.
Thanks to our counselors for joining us today, and thank you for watching. It's been a great Women's History Month, but remember that women are great the other 11 months of the year, too. Bye, everyone.